Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. I mean, I just can't get my head in the fact that there could be something actually go wrong with nuclear power, for example.
Well, nuclear power, I mean, yeah, well, okay, well, nothing can, of course, go wrong, ever, apart from a few minor leaks and stuff, and Chernobyl. But, okay, let's hypothetical situation. Let's say, in Japan, for example, you got earthquakes there, I mean, and...
the Japanese are cutting edge technology.
Yeah, they're cutting edge
yeah.
technology, and, you know, they, but if they put a, if they were foolish to put a nuclear power plant right on the seashore...
Nobody would do that.
But, okay, if they did, and an earthquake hit, right, but they're earthquake proof, nothing's wrong with them. But if they, see, they've got these tsunamis, right, after earthquakes, they've got these huge waves called tsunamis, and look, they have them so often, they actually have their own special word for these tsunamis, but I don't know what these are.
I think really, I mean, you're postulating about a black swan event.
They've got, like, but they've got this special name for these tsunamis, and I don't remember what that name is. Anyway, what happens...
It's sort of Asian sounding. I have heard of it.
Anyway, what happens is that, you know, the tsunami, which is like seawater, which is called salt water. Anyway, you see the cooling pond, right, in the nuclear power plant, that needs to be cooled for like using electricity, but you know it's a nuclear power plant, so it's full of electricity, so they just plug it off. And then they've got backup generators to make sure that
nothing can go
that the rods, the spent rods in their cooling pond don't get too hot. Anyway, maybe if the tsunami went and knocked out all the generators and got into the cooling pond, and then if all those cooling the spent rods started heating up again because they didn't have a constant flow of cold water over them. And
what are the odds?
No, well, it's remote, I imagine. But then what? You know, but if the supply of fresh water had been also destroyed, and they had to dump a whole bunch of salt water from the sea, what could happen is that all the rods in those pools, they oxidize because of the heat and the salt water.
Yes.
Because the salt water ionizes, and ionization may cause the rods to oxidize. Then what?
Well, that's freaky, isn't it? Really, that's coming back because seawater would be a better conductor of electricity and creating the atmosphere for ionization.
Anyway, what could happen there? You know, this is like way. Anyway, what could happen is that the hydrogen from its oxidization and the oxygen, they could set off explosions.
I think you're really pushing it now.
Yeah, and these explosions release radioactive iodine. I mean, it causes cancer, but you can take iodine pills to stop the thyroid.
Radioactive.
Anyway, but that's not the problem. It's the cesium and the strontium-90. They build up in your bones and they give you cancer as well.
Oh, right. So, I mean, who would have thought that, you know, of all the things that could replace calcium in bones, it could be strontium and cesium, which happen to be like the radioactive elements.
Right. The half-life of those is like 100,000 years. So, build up in like the fish and the whales and all of the other stuff that Japanese people eat, and green leafy vegetables.
Yeah, okay, so you're like extrapolating from DDT experiences here.
Yeah, it builds up from in green leafy vegetables. So all they have left to eat is hamburgers. And
I mean, I play a lot of roulette and gambling games, and there's just like no way that can.
It's a very remote chance. You'd have to have a tsunami hit the nuclear reactor.
It would be the equivalent of picking up a winning lottery ticket, walking onto the street every week for 10,000 years.
And well, what else could happen is that the containment vessel, because of all the salt water, it gets corroded, and the rods melt through and into the groundwater supply.
But there's a containment system to this stuff.
Yeah, it's a whole complicated containment system, and it couldn't possibly happen. And then that
and of course, if it went down and superheated, I imagine there'd be like a steam explosion.
Yeah, well, possibly, and maybe there would be strontium and cesium and radioactive iodine in the water supply for Tokyo, which is like 15 million people or something, and that could be like bad news, but it couldn't happen.
I want to speak to everybody perhaps about generalisations that are made about Muslims.
All right, yeah. You see, the problem with generalising Muslims is that all of the people who generalise Muslims, they're all